Dennis?
Is that real money?
Are you kidding me?
How much is this?
That's real money.
50?
Count it out.
100? Another 50 is 150?
Keep going.
$200?
250.
Hold on a second. Who called you? What's that?
Some guys. It was through,
Not that guy, Dan. Is this a new job
no,
or?
it's the new guy. You don't know. Javier called me and we figured it out.
This is serious
That's
money,
really-
and your son
I
has
just
just
put it
totally
in.
pocketed it.
Where to put
That's
it?
the biggest money
It's
ever.
right
Are you
here.
kidding?
It's right here, Dad.
That's my money.
Tom, don't call that.
I have to start by saying you've been in a number of projects, number of big projects. What was it like the 6 months after Fault in Our Stars in terms of like kids? Because there seems to be a huge young women really respond to that material. I can only imagine what it was like walking on the street for you.
It was awesome. Probably because, you know, at the core of it, it did strike such an emotional place for them. And so it wasn't as much about recognition as it was about deep conversation. It also was an amazing experience of learning how rampant cancer is in this country, because here are children and teenage girls going, I have, my mother has, my sister has, my best friend, and so the movie meant so much to me, or I want to find love like that, or, you know, whatever the longing is in it, or the longing to understand recovery from a diagnosis. I mean, it was deep. You know, unlike Jurassic Park, where kids just love talking to you because you were in Jurassic Park,
Right.
This went a whole other level into deep conversation.
Jumping into why I get to talk to you today, this is a tremendous movie. Just so good. When you got the script, was it an immediate, I'm absolutely doing this?
It was for a few reasons. I mean, one, the subject matter, of course, and being part of it. Two, Andrew Garfield and I really wanted to work together, and I love him so deeply as a person and a man, and also as an actor, and we work together in the same way through a teacher we love. So we, I think we're very excited to explore this. And then particularly in the case of Ramin and our amazing cinematographer, Bobby Bukowski, it was going to be done very improvised and in a documentary fashion. And so we were basing a lot of what we were exploring on real footage we watched from families who went through this.
One of the things, this is based on very real things that are still going on. Was there one or two things that really surprised you to learn when researching this period and these roles?
1,000,000%. I mean, we watched hundreds of actual evictions, and there is nothing we did in the film that wasn't replicated. And that was the great tragedy. And not only did we try to improvise and recreate what we witnessed, but the cops we worked with are actual cops. They're not actors. Many of the people surrounding it that Ramin used are people who are in the thick of this crisis. And in fact, many of the people who worked in and around the evictions are non-actors, or people who have been through eviction stories themselves. So he likes to work that way, and it really immersed us in the pain and heartbreak of how destroyed these families were. I mean, I was another American understanding how devastating it sounded, understanding the complication of this question of a bailout while Americans were living in motels or homeless. But until you witness an eviction and the lack of humanity and giving somebody 2 minutes with loaded guns pointed at them to be removed from their family home and lose everything in a moment is horrific.
I will say that the use of non-actors really shines through in this, because it feels very authentic in a lot of those scenes.
Yeah, great.
How much did the project change from when you got the script to what people are seeing on screen? Was it very similar? Was it a radical change?
I mean, both. You know, there are aspects of it that held very true to the script. I think some of the scenes with Andrew and Mike are scripted and created, but I think Andrew and I's story, there's a lot of improvisation, you know, within the structure of this family. that we all developed together, and the evictions themselves really inspired by the more footage that would reveal itself as we continued to work on it. So it was really both.
I want to ask you about some of the films you're working on.
Oh, good. I thought you were going to make me kill some people.
No, not at all.
Okay.
I'm going to butcher her Richard. Kelly, how do you pronounce her?
About what? Something I've played?
No, it's Untitled Kelly Richard.
Oh, Kelly Reichert.
Yeah, I
Yes.
was trying to get
Don't even worry.
Yeah,
Kelly Reichert. Yes.
Again, I'm just brutally screwing up today. Right now, it doesn't have a title, and I don't know that much about the project, but I know when I put on Twitter I was going to talk to you, a lot of people wanted to know about it. So
Cool. She's a really interesting filmmaker, independent filmmaker. Todd Haynes, who I love very much as a director, produced the film. They're very close and collaborators. And it's 3 female-based stories that interweave, but in a very unexpected and kind of brave way. Myself being one of the stories, Michelle Williams holding one story, and Kristen Stewart holding one story.
you are also in The Founder.
Yes.
And John he knows how to make movies. Do you think you're going to be able to eat McDonald's for life after this? Or are they going to be very mad at you?
I will never be eating McDonald's again. I have to say it. But partially because, much like this movie, it's seemingly built on the American dream, which is how can I make more bread while screwing others? And that's the tale of that movie. And as someone who is very horrified by big food and fillers and GMOs, I'm very proud of being part of a film that shows the inception of, let's let go of quality and consider consumerism and just poison the consumer, and we'll do really good.
I also agree with what you're saying about the food that you put in your body and stuff. But I have to, because I got to go. What was it like to work with him, though, as a filmmaker? Because I am a big fan of his work.
He's amazing. I love him. I worked on the first film he wrote, which is called A Perfect World, directed by Clint Eastwood. He did the screenplay of that movie. And I've loved him since, and so it was just a great opportunity to finally work with him as a director as well. I loved it.
You kick people out of their houses?
So I can put a roof over your head and I can put food in his mouth.
Is this all worth it?
Don't be soft. You think America gives a flying rat's ass about you or me? America doesn't bail out the losers.
You kicked me and my family out of our home? I don't know you! I know you!
America was built by bailing out winners, by rigging a nation of the winners, for the winners, by the winners.